What's up, people? You're watching a clip from the WRESTHINGS podcast. Make sure you follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star review. By the Mandem, for the Mandem.
So in terms of Collision, I'm with you in terms of like, I don't have a social life that much anymore. I'm a dad now. I'm calm. Even though I watch people the day after, because
that's how you gotta do it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. But for me, what's interesting is because it's like a soft or hard brand split. So I use WWE as a metric of what a brand split is. Yeah. As much as we like to say, WWE's brand split has been quite mixed in terms of how they utilize it. For me, the original brand split was the best one. This is
great.
right.
Great. Yeah, that was great.
When you saw Goldberg and Brock Lesnar square off at Survivor Series, you had goosebumps because they never touched, they never seen each other until that kind of show. When they start cross-pollinating after Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels in 2005, that's when they ruined it. So you use that as a metric. So you think to yourself as a fan, all right, if I have Collision, what belts am I gonna have? That's first when I went to my belts. So with the women's division, it's quite easy. So it's like is Jade going to be a Dynamite person mostly? Because you got the TBS title, it depends how you feel. It's like, it's just TBS. If you're one of those fans, like with the SmackDown and Raw titles, with the women's titles, like, it's on a different show. But you know, if you can't get over that. So is Jade going to be a Dynamite person, and then is Jamie Hayter going to be, on Collision? Or if Jamie Hayter is going to stay on Dynamite, is Jade Cargill gonna be a Collision person? Because you need a women's title defense there as well. And you can even argue that Jade can get more enhanced by being on Collision, because people have been arguing she's mostly been a Rampage person. You know what I'm saying? You've been saying, where is Jade? Because if you only watch Dynamite, you don't see Jade that much. So you think, okay, Collision could answer that question of not seeing her often. Boom. Then you got Orange Cassidy, who's now the international champion. Growing up as a kid, the international champion in my wrestling history was Rick Rude. He was a WCW international champion. So the international title sounds big and prestigious. You could argue he traveled. It's true.
Japan and stuff, right? Yeah.
I know, because we saw MJF on the poster. You're like, okay, the champion's gonna be on both shows, but you can make the international title maybe a Collision more title. If we're doing a hard split, maybe
because you're international and got TNT, so one title can go on either show.
Bingo, there you go. The mid-card title's no longer like muddied and clouded, so there's more of a focus on Wardlow being TNT champion on one of the shows. So I feel like it kind of might answer a lot of questions. It might lead to creating more belts. Who knows? But yeah, man, there's potential there.
I feel like with the belts they have right now, there's enough of a split. One thing I don't want them to do is create another heavyweight title. I will lose it.
Well, what tag team? No, you know what? I think the trios. I think the trios.
It's fine.
I think the trios is
solves that.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Solves that issue, because you got the trios team, and then obviously you got FTR as a tag team. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think. Do you know what? I think every title has 2 titles except for the main one, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Every title in AEW has like an alternative or something equivalent to it.
Why don't you want the two? Why don't you want there to be 2 main ones?
Because there should always be, my opinion, there should always be one prize in wrestling. Yeah. Everyone should be competing for the same exact prize. Once you got, like, there should be one thing that's the biggest thing, that's the most important thing. Once you get, I'm champion of Collision, I'm champion of who's fucking champ? There's one. There's one, because I complain about interim champs and all this. I want one fucking title. One champion that goes both shows. I don't want this.
I do agree with that, but those times where back in the day, 2004, 2003, when you had like Brock as a champ or Undertaker as a champ, Brock as a champ on one thing and Undertaker as a champ on another place, and like you said, when it came together, it was like, oh my days, this is beef.
But the thing is, and so also, what if, no, but the thing is as well with that, yeah, remember. And obviously, like, they bought WCW a few years ago and had like a title to use.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we've consolidated essentially, even though it's still WWE, we've got another company and we've got another title, might as well use it. Now, for me, if they artificially create a new title for no fucking reason, it's like, no, like, I feel like titles should be rare. I don't like the fact that you get a title. The title should be the rarest thing in the company.
So that means MJF is working both.
MJF should be across both. He doesn't have to like wrestle like Wednesday and Thursday, but he should have a presence. If there's a week he's not on Dynamite, he should be on Collision and vice versa. I feel like the champion, being the champion shouldn't be easy. They're like, when we say this person being a champion in any sport, is the minority of people. It's the minority. You think about boxing. Think about boxing's fucked.
Yeah, I was about to mention boxing. Boxing got 10,000 titles.
I've seen bare WBC.
Yeah, no, boxing's fucked. But when I think about
UFC's got it right.
UFC, the lineage of might have interim champion.
in UFC?
No, they've got one title
One
per
world
division.
title, yeah, one type of division.
Women's got a title, men's got a title.
Yeah, they got bantamweight, featherweight for
But it's
women. Like,
very-
yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah,
But in your division, there's only one championship to win.
yeah, the
There's
heavyweight.
So for me, it's like the honor of being a champion is I climbed the mountain of all of these wrestlers and I am the number one. I am not 1A or 1B. I am one. That's how wrestling for me should always be. I don't like multiple titles.
But you didn't enjoy Ruthless Aggression then?
Ruthless Aggression was cool, but that's what I grew up with. But now it's like with AEW, I don't want that. I want AEW to have one.
No, but the thing is, yeah, AEW has the same issue WWE has, which is a bloated roster. I feel like back in the days, yeah, it was quite easier to focus because I feel like back in the days, we were conditioned that only certain type of guys would get the chance. We're now in a generation where someone like Serpentico could possibly be world champion if he gets enough fanfare. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm saying?
I'll stop watching the product if that.
Is it? No, I'm using that.
It might even get you, or it might get over you as well.
I'm using that as an example. I'm saying like,
You never know.
I had to throw that. I'm like Fuego. You know what I'm saying? Like we live in.
I'm more for Fuego than Pentacle.
I'm using an example. We live in a generation where we want everyone to be given opportunity. Back in the day, they told you Juventud is not going to be world champion, so you're fine with that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
The mid cards.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Back in the days, yeah, there's like a ceiling. Yeah. Nowadays, it's kind of like, because we're like the generation that's taken over, we're like, yeah, we grew up in an era where we wanted Malenko and, you know, the Redacted and Guerrero and Jericho to succeed. So our mindset is now the today mindset. We're teaching the younger generation that we want anyone to succeed. Even like Shelton Benjamin, you want Shelton Benjamin to be world champion. You want this guy to be world champion. But Mr. Perfect... Wait. Is it slander? Is it slander on Shelton Benjamin's life?
No,
Perfect. It's
I
not.
can't lie. With Mr. Perfect, yeah, I can't lie. I felt sorry for him because who was up against Myth? Look at the people he was up against.
But do you know what? Yeah,
that title was what again?
I like losers in wrestling. I can't lie. I like some people where it's like, do you know what? I never won the title. For me, rarity makes something important.
Razor Ramon's another guy that
rarity, like how rarity in the title just makes it feel like, you know what, I can't. Why can't I not get this? Why can't, like, when there's an elite class of people that have only won this title, I know it just makes the title feel more valuable. And if it's like,
do you feel like AW books lose as well? Do you feel like there's anybody that has been in big title situations where you can look at them and be like, you know what, I can continuously root for you even though I know you're never going to get that title?
Kingston. That's for me personally.
That's not even from AW though. He's always
He's
been like that.
been a
Can I say like
I don't feel like AW books. I'm probably the rarest person I would say. I genuinely don't believe
Danielson.
I was gonna say Danielson.
I don't think Tony Khan's a great booker.
Danielson doesn't want.
I think he's a great matchmaker, but I think the way he books, especially the way he books AEW and the way he books Ring of Honor,
You know what? Yeah, that's a conversation we probably need to have on another day.
What's up, people? You're watching a clip from the WRESTHINGS podcast. Make sure you follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star review. By the Mandem, for the Mandem.